Greetings, friends. My name is Drew. Usually, I try to be both genuine and professionally considerate when I make videos. I do work for a fountain pen store and would like to stay gainfully employed. However, I'm also an opinionated nerd who likes to argue about inconsequential trivialities from time to time. And that is what I'm going to do today. The gloves are off, and I am going to be strictly Drew the consumer, taking off my retailer hat and throwing fairness, consideration, and diplomacy out the window while sharing with you 5 hot takes that I have about fountain pens. Note, there is no reason you should take anything I say in this video more seriously than you would a rambling, incoherent Yelp review about gas station pizza. Number 1, the TWSBI Swipe is better than the TWSBI Eco. Yup, first things first. Yeah, okay. The clip on the Swipe is pretty much ornamental. The Eco does that better. Oh, what, ink capacity? Nuh-uh. Now, we'll get there. First, let's talk about the price. The Eco is $32.99, and you get the pen, you get silicone grease, and you get a wrench. 2 tools to maintain the internal piston assembly. The Swipe is more affordable at $26.99 and includes an ink cartridge that you can write without the use of any additional purchases, and not 1, but 2 different large capacity converters, a traditional twisting piston converter and a spring-loaded plunger version. Additionally, you get a spring that keeps the cartridge firmly in place. It's not necessary, but it's there. Same nib, same performance as the Eco. The accessories that the Swipe provides you with are providing you with different filling options. The accessories the Eco provides you with are merely things to add to the complexity of its sole filling method, an internal piston, which, yeah, gives you a big ink capacity, but wait, in addition to the Swipe's cartridge option or its piston converter option or its spring converter option, you can barrel fill that thing and get a capacity that's more than triple that of the Eco. Finally, cleaning. Easy. The Swipe, unlike the Eco, has a removable grip section that you can use a bulb syringe with little effort. The converters that the Swipe comes with are effortlessly disassembled, all without the need of a wrench and without the possibility of reassembling it incorrectly. And it does this. All right, number 2, the Lamy Safari is a beautiful fountain pen. Now, I'm not quite as fired up about this one, and I know that there are some people that will agree with me on this, but come on, people. This is not an ugly pen. When I hear that the design of the Safari is besmirched with cruel and insensitive mockery, and yet any number of so-called classic pen designs that look like one of 1,000 other pens gets to walk on by with any such criticism is a crime. Like it or not, this is what iconic looks like. This is what immortal looks like. And I hear you.
Just because it's recognizable doesn't make it pretty.
Okay, fair enough. But pretty is subjective. And sure, you're entitled to your opinion, but at some point, you need to take popular opinion into account, at least a little bit. Taylor Swift, James Cameron, the Lamy Safari. Like them or not, their work speaks for itself, and they're winning their game. Not saying you can't still think it's ugly. I'm just saying that you're wrong. Number 3, internal piston pens are overrated. Let's talk about the pros versus cons of internal fillers like a piston or a vacuum. Greater ink capacity, sure. Harder to clean, Needlessly complex mechanisms that are often frustrating to clean or can't be disassembled without voiding your warranty? No, that's another con. I guess there's only one good thing about internal fillers. And how many of y'all are actually using a full barrel's worth of ink before switching inks? Okay, I know some of you do. But still, cartridge converter pens allow for easier and more thorough cleaning, easier long-term parts replacement too, since the ink reservoir isn't a part of the pen. If the converter gets permanently stained or the gasket wears out, no big deal. Get a new one at any retailer. Getting a cartridge converter pen also guarantees that the grip section is removable, meaning that the good old bulb syringe can get in there and do the heavy lifting for you in terms of cleaning. Now, I don't want to take away anyone's internal fillers. Some people like a little extra challenge, and that's cool. At least let's stop equating internal filling mechanisms to a greater perceived value. Cartridge converter pens are fantastic, and belong on pens at every price point. Also, they're better. Number 4, you don't need more than 10 fountain pens. Oh wow, he really did take off his retailer hat. Yeah, I did. It's right over there. Let's be honest though, a fountain pen isn't a need any more than my comics, my coin collection, or my collection of spores, molds, and fungus. But you really don't need more than 10. You may be someone that thinks
10 pens, I only have 2.
or you may be someone that feels personally attacked right now because you just ordered pen number 394. What I'm really saying though is that I think 10 pens can get you a good representation of all that the hobby has to offer. Here's what I'm thinking. Number 1, something with a stub nib, either a little one or a big crazy Pilot Parallel. Number 2, a pocket pen like the Kaweco Lilliput or the Pilot E95S. Number 3, an expendable pen, something that you can afford to take on dangerous missions like to Machu Picchu or a kid's birthday party. A premium pen, something you spend some money on that you were really excited about. Something with a higher ink capacity, if you're into that, if you want to work on a handwritten novel or something like that. Number 6, something with a flexible nib, maybe a Pilot Falcon or Magna Carta Mag 600. They're fun. A travel pen, something durable, like a Safari. A broad nib for when you want to show off a fun ink or if you just want some big headers for your journal. Likewise, an extra fine nib for when you might only have regular person paper to write on. And then number 10, just to get a TWSBI swipe. All right, number 5. Steel nibs are just as good as gold nibs. That's right, I said it. Now, I'm not a crazy person. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all steel nibs are better than all gold nibs or just as good as all gold nibs, but I will sit here and say that there are plenty of steel nibs that are indeed better than plenty of gold nibs. My point is that the material does not make the nib better. Gold can give the nib the potential to be better than steel, but that's it. The shape, the spacing, the tipping, all of these, if they're not done well, you'd be absolutely better off with a well-tuned steel nib. It's easy to, travel deeper into the hobby and feel like your path must lead to a gold nib pen. Like that's the next level progression that just has to happen. Well, it doesn't. I'm not saying that it's not likely that you'll find that your first gold nib is better than your steel nibs, because that is likely, but absolutely not a foregone conclusion. Those are my hot takes. And not only are all of these very much up for debate, you can also debate on whether or not they're even hot takes in the first place. I don't know. Again, this is all 100% my own personal opinion as a fellow fountain pen user, and I had a ton of fun here. So thanks for putting up with me. Have fun and write on.